Alright, Mari, you ready to talk about season 3 and 4 of Bojack Horseman? Because I'm tired.
You're always tired.
I know I'm always tired and I feel drunk. I feel drunk all the time.
Anyway, so welcome back to the podcast.
Welcome back.
We were talking about Bojack Horseman.
Yes.
And the last video you guys watched was season 1 and 2.
And now
go watch that video if you want to watch that.
Now we're gonna go through season 3 and 4, and then
originally we were gonna make this 5 episodes, but I think at this time we're probably gonna make maybe 3.
Then we'll go to bed because fuck, we're gonna be tired by the end of this talk.
And then tomorrow you'll probably hear us talk about 5 and 6, depending on what time we finish this.
Yes. Okay.
So let's just jump right into this. So we were on up all night. So season 3.
Season 3. What do you remember about season 3? Oh dear, Mari, my friend, old pal, old chum, without looking at the cliff notes.
Well, I need to see at least the person's
you
name.
don't need to look at the cliff notes. You don't need to look at the cliff notes.
Okay, so pretty much all I remember from season 3 was just the agent and okay, there was this one. Okay, all I remember from I don't think much really happened in season 3. Like nothing, at least significant to me.
I think it was pretty much when Bojack was advertising the Secretariat movie.
Yeah, so basically seasons 2 and 3 kind of deal with Secretariat.
Mm-hmm.
So even though he left the movie during season 2, he comes back after season 2 and basically finishes the movie. Even though the movie's already fucking finished. So the movie's already finished. And we're just going to go briefly about some of the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because season 3 wasn't too interesting in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. So
basically, in season 3, we also have this one episode that is completely no dialogue whatsoever until the fucking end of it.
Oh, yeah.
It's basically Bojack goes underwater to like some kind of fish land and tries to advertise Secretariat to the fish under the water. Yes, there's fish in Bojack's universe. And they're anthropomorphic, like everything else. So I wonder how the fuck they eat in this world if everything's pretty much
then they explained it. They have some animals that are like anthropomorphic, and there's others that don't get that necessary gene, or they don't provide them with anything other than just being a normal animal. So you have fish eating fish. You have
horses
chicken eating chicken.
Anyway, that's basically something in the universe. So basically Bojack's trying to find his agent who he had a falling out with sometime in the series. So he's under the water promoting his movie, and then he sees Kelsey. Yeah, he sees Kelsey after promoting another movie that she's doing, because she does like underrated film stuff. She does underrated lesbian films because she herself is a lesbian. And I think that's fucking amazing that she's a lesbian. Hell yes. Yeah. Gay representation is in this show. Fuck yes.
Yes.
Yay gays. Because we both are gay.
Yes.
Anyway, so basically that whole episode is just them trying to talk to her and stuff. Stop that. They're just talking about he's trying to talk to her and ends up trying to talk. Every time he tries to talk to her, he can't make words because the little like globe thing he has over his fucking head can't allow words to escape it.
His word bubble.
Let's just call it his word bubble.
His word bubble. His world bubble.
Oh my gosh. So basically that happens, and then at the end of the episode he talks. He finds out how to talk, and
it pisses you off.
It pisses me off because it's like you spent the whole fucking episode trying to learn how to talk, and then you fucking talk at the end. It's like, dude.
I don't know, man.
So that's really the only significant thing that I can think of.
Wow, that's the only significant thing. Well, I got cliff notes here, and I can tell you a few things. One, his agent was a backstabbing douche.
Which agent? This one?
No, not
Kelsey?
Carolyn. No, the
Kelsey?
The one who worked for George Clooney's.
I don't know who that was.
The one who had the
that bitch! That fucking bitch! That fucking bitch! That bitch! Okay, he gets another agent, and this agent...
I'm not gonna lie, her voice... Okay.
Her voice is hot.
Her voice is really, really fine, but that character... Oh my god.
She was hot.
She was hot, but at the same time, she was just pretty much like, you know, she's one of those characters that pretty much gets information that off of other people's, like, you know...
She's the gossip.
She's the gossip type person. She's the gossipy agent, whatever, and she would, like, you know, just backstab anyone just for her own...
Personal gain.
So,
yeah, that was a whole thing that happened. So, basically... Did Bojack and her technically have a relationship?
No, they never... Oh, yeah, they did.
So, the two of them basically had a fucking relationship throughout season 3. And I will say this... She's a top. She's a fierce top.
She is a fierce top.
And I'm just like, damn.
Didn't you not see the way that she grabbed his dick?
Well, you don't see any... Okay, here's the thing for you guys to know. You don't see any dicks in the whole thing. A lot of stuff is implied. Mm-hmm. Like, the sex and stuff is implied, but you don't really see it.
You don't
see any dick.
You don't see, but, well, you kind of do, but it's under the covers, but you don't really...
Yeah, but you don't really see it. It's kind of, like, hidden, so you can't really see it.
Yeah.
Anyway, all that falling out happened with the agent, and then...
But not before she got some critical information that she will reveal later to us in the seasons.
Yeah, so later in the season, she finds out some shit, and she basically keeps it throughout the entire course of the last 3-4 seasons.
Literally doesn't come out until season 5.
Yeah, season 5. It's literally hidden until season 5, so there's a lot of shit that you're not going to find out in certain parts of season 3 that you'll find out later.
Yes.
So, basically after that... We have another really traumatic event that happens. And it's basically...
Okay, so basically after Bojack Horseman... Why did I say his full name? I should
say Bojack Horseman.
So basically after Bojack... pretty much after Bojack found out that he didn't get nominated for an Oscar for his role in Secretariat, he goes to his old child star, co-star actress's
Sarah Lynn
mansion.
Yeah, Sarah Lynn's mansion.
Yeah, he goes over there and pretty much has a 3-week bender with her.
Yeah, and just so you know, Sarah Lynn is a drug addict.
Sarah Lynn is a major drug addict, and...
She has lots of cocaine, she's got lots of alcohol, lots of vodka, lots of weed.
Yes.
She's got the whole 9 yards. Yeah. And these two go on a 3-week bender. And this bender was insane.
Yeah.
But we don't see all of it in this one season.
We don't see all of it. We do
see clips of it in later
Bojack,
seasons.
Confesses shit at a confession set at I think a rehab center. He goes and tries to apologize to Todd, which is really just a young kid that looks like Todd.
Yeah, and it's not even Todd.
And then he goes and does something more fucked up and tries to go apologize to Penny while on this bender.
Yeah, he literally tries to go to apologize to the girl
he almost had sex with
in season 2. Spoiler! For those who don't know.
And so
they go to a frat party. And when they're there, basically, she sees him. And, oh my gosh. She sees him and freaks out. We're not trying to laugh at that, just so you know. We're not trying to laugh at that.
Yeah, we're not trying
We're really not trying to laugh at that. So, basically, stop laughing. That's not funny.
No, I just keep thinking about that Todd one. That's funny to me.
The Todd one?
Yeah, that was funny. He was he was so drunk he didn't know that he wasn't speaking to Todd. And he was just like...
Okay, so just so you know, the Todd part's what we're laughing at. We're not laughing about this other shit. FYI, we're not laughing at this upcoming shit. We're laughing at the Todd shit. Please stop that. Okay, because of that, Penny gets freaked out and has a traumatic experience. Because after that whole thing, she
pretty much gets
PTSD flashbacks.
PTSD flashbacks.
And then she runs away. Bojack tries to apologize. Cameras are everywhere. And then it gets to the point where they go to, like, a planetarium. So they go to a planetarium.
No. Pretty much what happens is that they're at a motel and they're both, like, they're drunk and they're both high. And they're watching the Oscars on the motel TV. And Sarah Lynn gets nominated for one of her songs in the Oscars. And she's upset that she's not there. And she pretty much has a mental breakdown.
And Bojack's like, why didn't the fuck I get an Oscar?
Well, no, not really. He's done with shit, pretty much. He's on this bender because he's just done. And then in the last attempt to make Sarah Lynn happy, like the only person who's like on this bender that he cares about, because he confessed that he loved her, but I don't know whether it was a confession that
of like platonic love or romantic
love. Well, they did have sex.
I know, but even though they were both of legal age, but basically Bojack grew up with Sarah Lynn. She was on this TV show with him when she was a kid. So to me, I still find it kind of weird. Even though they were both legal age, it was still fucking weird, in my opinion, because he saw her grow up.
Yeah.
If you think about it. She saw him, he saw her grow up.
Yeah.
So to me, even though they're technically legal age, it's still disturbing as fuck.
Yeah.
So after that whole thing, they go to the planetarium to hang out and do some shit, and then, oh Lord, you get to talk about the last minute, honey, but please don't go too long about it, because we know it's crazy.
Okay, so basically they go to the planetarium, and it's basically you're in the little globe room where you're looking at the stars and all that stuff, and like, basically what happens is that they're looking at it. It's just them two silhouettes, which is very clever, I think, is a shot.
Yeah.
I don't talk about the shot composition a lot in Bojack, but a lot of the shots
are good.
They're really, really good. So it's pretty much them sitting in the dark. It's just, you just see these two silhouettes and then just the stars of the projector just projecting stars up above while they're showing, like they're showing a presentation while they're both high.
They're high as fuck.
They're high as hell, and they're just like
talking, and
they're talking,
and then all of a sudden, like the last like couple minutes of the show,
Sarah Lynn leans on
Bojack's shoulder. Bojack's like talking to her, and then all of a sudden, this one moment to me was I got the realization that, oh fuck, that actually happens in this show.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, spoiler alert for what happens, Sarah Lynn literally got so high, she fucking overdosed and died.
She overdosed on heroin.
She overdosed on heroin and pretty much died leaning on Bojack in the fucking planetarium. He doesn't realize it till literally the very last moment in the show.
Well, he doesn't realize until the very last moment of that episode.
Yeah, of that episode. Mm-hmm. So that's basically the end of season 3.
So the next episode was him dealing with Sarah Lynn's death.
Wait, wasn't that season 4?
No. It was still season 3.
Still season 3?
So it was still season 3. He was dealing with Sarah Lynn's death. And again, he goes on one of those things to where he needs to go find himself because of this shit.
Again.
He needs to go find himself again.
This is the second time he's gone to go find himself.
Well, it's more triggered on the fact that one of his other childhood co-star that he is all grown up wants to start a spin-off show.
A Bojack show. And then he tries to he actually was hesitant on signing up for it, and then eventually he agrees to it, and they go to start the show. I think if I remember right, they tried to start the first of it, and then he left, and then the season ended. Right?
No. What happened was that Bojack, because there's he's starring in the show, so there's gonna be kids on it. So basically, what sets him off was he's talking to this child actress, and she's like, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he's like, I'm gonna be like you. And he has a realization, this girl wants to be famous. Oh fuck, I gotta get out of here.
So he literally has a quote unquote very mental breakdown.
He has a mental breakdown,
and then ends up leaving the fucking show and never coming back.
He ends up leaving the show
and never comes back.
Princess Carolyn stops being his agent. I think, didn't she?
This happens multiple times in the series. She stops being his agent multiple times, I think. I think at least 3.
Yeah.
So this was the time when I think she stopped being his agent because she was trying to focus on herself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think she dates a couple people in the show. Like, did she date, like, Ralph and another guy before Ralph?
I only remember her being with Ralph.
Okay. I'm trying to remember, because I know she was with somebody, I think. Oh, wait, that was a flashback. Okay, that was a flashback. Yeah. I know she was with a guy named Ralph. Mm-hmm. Was it for the 2 seasons?
No. It was for...
I think it was for at least, like maybe 1 season. Something like that. I know she was with him, like, he's a mouse, she's a cat. It was that kind of thing.
Well, it was just... Oh, wait, we forgot. Before all this, Bojack goes back to his house. And Todd is there. And pretty much Todd just calls out Bojack on his bullshit.
Yeah, he calls him out. And Bojack doesn't want to fucking
keep doing shitty things and then repeat those same shitty things. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, and then he ends up saying fuck.
Yes, and then Todd ends up saying fuck to Bojack.
And then doesn't Bojack leave?
Bojack leaves. He goes on the highway and on a stolen Tesla.
Oh, Lord.
He goes on the highway on a stolen Tesla. And he basically... I think that was the first time that he tried to commit suicide.
Yeah. He literally tried to commit suicide.
He just jumped.
Spoiler alert, that's a thing. He was trying to commit suicide.
He jumped on the gas. He just
pushed on the gas and was starting to lean into the other road, but then he realized what he was doing and stopped.
Well, no. He saw what's made him stop was like a group of just horses just running in the desert.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, that was season 2.
No. That's season 3.
Okay, so season 3, he sees, like, a bunch of these horses galloping in the distance, and they're, like, actual anthropomorphic horses. They're not, like...
They're running.
They're just running, though, like, in a herd.
Yeah.
And that's basically the end of season 3.
Yeah, he's just pretty much like, wait, I don't have to die. So... Yeah. That's pretty much season 3.
So on to season 4.
And let me be clear, we're just talking about the more things that were impactful to us. This show is a comedy drama.
So there's a lot more stuff than what we're just talking about.
Yes, there's a lot more stuff than what we're just talking about, the whole dramatic bits and stuff like that. We're talking about those things because, they're more
impactful than some of the other moments in this, because there's a lot of shit.
But also, there is also really, really good humor in the show.
Yes.
Besides the drama shit, I consider this a really, really good comedy.
Yeah, because there's a lot of shit that we're, kind of skipping over because it's not too memorable compared to other shit. So, we're just doing, the base points
of it. The drug episodes, I'm assuming the drug episodes in the first season and in the season where they're playing on wordplay and all that stuff, and when they're actually getting into the whole celebrity talk and stuff like that, where they have to pretty much make anagrams for these animals, these animal hybrids that are clearly representatory of human, humans in real life and stuff like that. Those are legit, these are, legit, funny. They're really, really funny. And it's amazing to think that, some of them actually got the celebrities to actually say these lines.
And they have, a bunch of other topics that do get talked about in this. But one of the more important topics we'll be talking about for the season 4. Mm-hmm. Because it doesn't really have anything to do with season 3, at least that I remember. So... basically, we're just summing up the important shit so that way you guys know what you're getting into before you watch it. Because there's a lot of heavy shit, more than other shit in the show. So I suggest, you watch the whole show. Don't just watch, the episodes that are, very impactful. Watch the whole thing. It's going to get repetitive and going to get stupid. I know, but... it's going to be good once you finish it. You're going to feel great if you finish certain episodes.
You're going to feel great. No, you're going to feel really shitty at the end.
Yeah, but you'll have some lighthearted episodes. There's not too many lighthearted, but at least enjoy it while you can.
Yeah.
Stop doing that. Anyway, so season 3 is done. Now we're going to talk about season 4. So season 4 while I agree with JC, it's probably the best fucking season in this entire show.
I still have, like, a half because...
I thought you said this was your favorite, though.
Well, season 1, of course, is our least favorite.
Yeah, because season 1 sucked. Season 1 sucked.
Okay,
It made me not want to watch the rest of it until you convinced me.
Season 3 was meh.
Season 2 was good. Season 3 was meh. To me, this one was my favorite season. Season 4 is probably my favorite.
I don't know. It just keeps...
To be completely honest.
Like, 3, 4, and 5 are really fucking good. 4, 5, and 6 are really fucking good.
Yeah, so at least get through the first 3 seasons before you get to the good shit, to be completely honest. So, season 4. So, basically, we get introduced to someone in...
Well, let's just start from, like, let's just start from the
talk about Sugar
So,
Place.
pretty much what Bojack does... He pretty much runs away again to his grandfather's old home, summer home.
Yeah, so he stays there for a bit because he doesn't really want to go back to Hollywood.
And he tries to pretty much renovate the home. And this Dragonfly neighbor shows up, and he's pretty much just like helps him fix the home because it's pretty much an eyesore.
Yeah,
he doesn't like looking at it and all that type of stuff and like.
So basically, he helps him fix it. And
and while this is happening,
you get to see a lot of flashbacks of his grandparents and his mom. Because just so you guys know, Beatrice, you get to see a lot of Bojack's mom in the later seasons. And I will say this because I don't like her for obvious reasons.
I don't like her either.
She's a fucking bitch. Wait, she's worse than a bitch. She's a fucking bitch. She's worse than a bitch. She's a mega bitch. She's a mega bitch, okay? This bitch is so bad to Bojack. It's not even funny.
She's the C word.
I don't think we should say it. We're not saying it. She's a big C word. So we're not going to say it for obvious reasons, but she's really bad. She's worse than a bitch. Let's just say that. She's worse than a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And because of all that, it leads Bojack to
resent his parents.
Yeah, both his parents. But his dad doesn't get talked about until like later in the series, like season 5, I think.
Well, Times Arrow did that, but the episode called Times Arrow. But anyway, we're gonna get to that later. So basically, this is about Beatrice and her family, and her older brother going off to go fight the Nazis. This is that type of time period and stuff like that. So basically, you have 2 stories happening at the same time.
You have Bojack going through his stuff, and then you actually see the flashback of Bojack's mom's childhood and why she's the way she is now. Okay, her parents in general, the reason that the mom is fucked up is because her parents are also fucked up.
Well, her dad.
Mainly her dad. Her mom was fine until apparently... Okay, so...
Well, I cannot, blame the fact that, that's just a product of time.
Yeah, but the dad was still a butt. He was a huge butt, and... He wanted, Bojack's mom to marry into, a rich family, and then she never did. So she meets Bojack's dad. I think his name was Butterscotch. Right?
No, that was his dad.
Wasn't that...
That was Bojack's dad.
Okay. No, she meets Butterscotch. That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
She meets Butterscotch. That's
We're not
Bojack's...
at that episode yet. We're not at that episode yet, though. We're at the episode where they're... They're both flashback episodes, but we're not that episode yet. I'll tell you when we're at that episode.
Okay. But basically, I'm getting all this shit confused. It's like a blur. It's a good season, but it's a fucking blur for the first half. So basically, after that whole thing, please stop doing that. So after that whole thing of seeing the flashbacks, the mom basically gets a traumatic brain surgery to where she completely changes who she is. And
well, you're missing a whole plot point of the whole thing.
That's a spoiler.
That basically Bojack sees a picture of the house, I'm sorry, sees a picture of the house, and he's like, hey, there was what are those things called? What? The rooster things on the houses.
I know
wind chimes. No,
that's not a wind chime.
That's a direction rooster or something.
I don't know what the fuck it's called, but it's I don't know what the name of it is at the moment. But it's those things you see on farmhouses with the rooster at the top and the north, south, east, west. It's like a fucking compass. I don't fucking know.
It's the compass.
It's like a roof compass. I don't know what the fuck it's called.
It's the roof compass. Okay,
let's just call it that roof compass.
So the roof compass is like, hey, we need to get that.
And it's on top of someone's fucking house.
It's on top of another person's house, so they gotta go get it. And this is parallel because they gotta go get the roof compass. And it's parallel to Beatrice and her mother going to the same party after they defeat the Nazis in the war. So
this is like World War II, I think.
Yeah, World War II. So like this is like they're some doing crazy shit. And they sing like the most beautiful song I've ever heard.
Yes.
You don't remember it?
I don't know the song.
How dare you?
But I know what you're talking about. But Beatrice's mom goes through so much shit.
Memories you lost.
Yes. Anyway, also that was very beautiful singing, honey.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Anyway, so because of that,
basically everything goes downhill. Bojack and the Dragonfly guy barely escape, and Beatrice and her mother don't really escape. They get into a car accident.
And it gets crazy because Beatrice is fucking driving the two of them.
I know.
And she's like 8. She's 8 years old driving a fucking car.
Yeah.
So her mom ends up getting traumatic brain surgery because she's just going
her husband thinks that she's like, being too emotional and stuff like that. So she gets what people were doing at the time to combat like people like getting emotional or not thinking for themselves. Pretty much gets a surgery to where it messes her up and she's just pretty much like a zombie.
An empty shell of what she used to be.
Yeah, she pretty much.
So that happened. Beatrice is like completely like devastated. And it messed her up.
Her mom pretty much teaches her never to love somebody like she did to her son, or else this is gonna happen to you.
So yeah, basically that traumatic shit happened and it really fucks with her.
Yeah.
To be completely honest.
And then the Dragonfly reveals that, he doesn't fly at all. And the reason he doesn't fly was because
he lost his wife.
He lost his wife to a jet.
Spoiler.
To a jet engine.
Yeah, to a jet engine. And then he starts flying. He picks Bojack up. Bojack falls into the lake. He falls too. Bojack saves him. And they're out of the lake.
And the Dragonfly guy is like, I don't want to be here. I want to die.
Yeah, so he starts to become suicidal.
And Bojack kind of just walks away from that. He's just like, I've dealt with enough suicide shit for one lifetime or something. I don't know. He just walks away from him.
Yeah, like, so after that...
oh, sorry. And then after that, Bojack's just pretty much, I'm not going to stay here. I'm not going to stay here and be an old sad sack of all my life. So he pretty much demolishes the house.
He demolished the fucking house after like an episode.
Out of spite.
And so that whole house is gone.
That whole house is just gone.
After that, he leaves.
But that's like legit, like one of my favorite episodes.
How is that one of your favorite episodes?
I don't know, because it's just like the parallels of just how the events, like, the past and the present work together.
Yeah.
Like that just so canonically fits together in both ways, and that's just amazing in of itself. That's like, oh god, that's such good storytelling. But
so after that whole thing, basically, I'm sorry if I keep cutting you off.
No, you're fine.
So basically, after that whole thing, we get introduced to another character who's actually another favorite character of mine besides Princess Carolyn.
Yes.
We get introduced to Hollyhock. So basically, Hollyhock is a young horse girl who ends up trying to find her father. Mm-hmm. So basically,
her father and her mother.
Her father and her mother. So basically, she was adopted by... Okay, first thing, this show, I'm so happy about this. This show has polyamorous representation because Hollyhock has... How many dads does she have?
8.
She has 8 fucking dads! Like, dude, this girl had 8 fucking dads. Like, yes. There needs to be more poly representation out there. That's actually good. Yeah. Like, actual good poly representation. This was a show that had it.
Yes, don't give us that Tiger King shit.
Yeah, because that was awful.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Anyway, so Hollyhock is introduced, and she's fucking amazing. I love this girl. She's amazing.
Yeah, she's like legit like a...
She's so cool.
You would probably hang out with her.
Yes, I would.
This would be a friend that you would hang out with.
I would hang out with her.
It's almost... Yeah.
So basically, she gets introduced. So she ends up finding... I think she finds Todd first. Yeah, so she finds Todd first, and she's like, do you know where my dad is? And he's like, I don't know who you are. Like... So she ends up trying to look around for, I guess, her dad. Mm-hmm. Where did she come from again? I'm trying to remember.
I don't know. I don't remember.
She's not from Hollywood.
Yeah.
So she's not from around there. She's trying to look for her dad. Ends up running into a bunch of other people. She runs into, I think... Did she run into Diane? I feel like she did.
No, she just runs into Todd, and then he invites her to Bojack's house.
Yeah, so she gets invited to Bojack's house by Todd. And Bojack ends up meeting her. And their, like, chemistry is amazing. So, like, here's the thing. So, I actually like how her and Bojack interacted. They actually...
Because he doesn't want to have sex with her?
No. Because at the time, I feel like he's having a genuine, like, healthy relationship. Like...
Trying to be, because...
He's trying to be...
Because it all stems because because at the same time, his mom... who had dementia, moved in with him as well.
Yeah, so basically, she ends up moving in with him and his mom, who's got fucking dementia, and the bear nurse. The bear nurse. That's that's the mom's caretaker. So the mom is, like, really old. How old is she?
She looks like in her 90s. Or
she was, like, really old, okay? Yeah. She was really fucking old. She had dementia. Oh. What?
You said old really weird. Like, old. She's really old.
I hate the mom, okay? So, okay, there's another reason why I hate the mom, which we'll get to later on. So, basically... Later on. She gets introduced. She's trying to find out who her dad is. She ends up taking a DNA test and finds out, bum, 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 Bojack is her dad. Yeah, spoiler, Bojack's her dad. But it gets funnier after that.
Yes, it does.
So, he's trying to learn how to be a dad because...
Or he's trying to learn how to be a good role model. Not so much a dad.
But a good role model to Hollyhock. Because I think Hollyhock's like 18, right?
Yeah, they're like 18 college.
She's like literally like the beginning college.
Yeah.
So, after that whole thing, you basically deal with... a bunch of other shit. Like, one thing that gets dealt with, besides Hollyhock being introduced and the two of them having, like, a friendship, parental friendship. Let's say parental friendship.
Yes, not like the other parental friendship.
Yeah, not like the other one. But this one's actually healthier.
It's healthier.
And not, like, weird like that.
But not that healthy.
So, another thing that we kind of, like, missed, or not really, like, talked about as much, is Diane, because... She does have her moments in the entire series, but...
She does have her moments.
It's just not as impactful as Bojack's.
She is the most stable character
of pretty much everybody.
But that's not saying much when she herself is not stable.
Yeah, but she's probably the most developed character in the entire series. Minus Bojack. She's probably the healthiest person.
Yeah.
That has had the most development.
Somewhat.
Anyway, so, as, like, I think I mentioned before... Her and Mr. Peanut Butter are like, married and stuff like that. But here's something that I don't think they really talk about in a lot of series.
Okay, let me see.
So basically, at least from series I've seen, this is something that has never been talked about. So, okay, so a lot of stuff, like, two things. One, this series has a very good conversation about abortion. They actually talk about abortion in the most realist way possible.
I think that was season 3.
Fuck.
That's okay. You can still talk about it.
This series talks about abortion in probably the best way possible.
And it's only for one episode.
It's only one episode, but it's still an interesting episode. Because I don't remember if it was season 3. Season 3 or /4. I'm going to just say /4 because I don't know which one it was in. Mm-hmm. But Diane ends up getting pregnant. And her and Mr. Peanut Butter don't want to have kids. Mind you, Mr. Peanut Butter's been in 3 past marriages before Diane. He was in 2 or 3 other marriages before Diane. So he already knows how this shit goes. Mm-hmm. And he don't want to have kids. Even though, like, he's already been in marriages, he don't want to have kids. Mm-hmm. So she ends up getting an abortion, and a lot of people find out about it, and at first they didn't really agree with it.
No. A celebrity tweets out.
Yeah, a celebrity tweets out
that Diane's managing because she is a manager for
abortion.
No, she's a manager for social medias of celebrities.
Yeah.
And so a celebrity tweets out that they're getting abortion, then it starts a whole debate. Because most of the time, it's not the characters, like, because, like, there's only, like, half the cast is celebrities, half of them aren't. So it's normally the celebrities that get the shit on, and not normal people. Normal people are more pushed to the side because most of the like background characters and all that stuff that people like are getting like opinions on and stuff like that only care about the celebrities. They never care about the real people, just like real life.
Yeah. Okay, so after that whole thing, the celebrity ends up releasing a music video about abortion. Diane doesn't think it's the best way to interpret it, so she's trying to kind of fix it to where it has a better representation than what the person was giving. Mm-hmm. So after that whole thing, then Diane ends up getting her abortion. Mm-hmm. And I don't think she told that many people. I think she only told
them to her close friends.
Yeah, she only told it to her close friends, but I think Bojack was the first one to hear, I think.
I think so.
So Bojack was the first one to hear about this. So after that whole thing, the episode ends, and she's doing great for herself. This still makes me wonder, though, if the two of them did have a kid, is the kid going to be like an animal or a human?
It just all depends on genes.
That makes me wonder. Even though I'm happy that they're doing good for themselves, it doesn't really last. So, after a bunch of stress that I don't think a lot of people even knew about in the series, a lot of stress led to this more impactful thing, which is dun dun dun. The two of them get divorced. And that's something I'm surprised they actually did talk about.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen shows that have done that. I've heard Rick and Morty probably talks about that maybe a little bit, but not really as much as this.
Treats it like a joke.
Anyway, this show actually treats divorce seriously. So, her and Mr. Peanut Butter end up getting divorced. Here's some of it. Her and Mr. Peanut Butter get divorced. Mm-hmm. She ends up going into an apartment. Mr. Peanut Butter gets his own mansion. His other house fucking destroyed. Because of some kind of fucking...
No, he lives in... I think he lives...
Condo?
I think he has a couple houses. How many fucking houses does he have?
I don't fucking know.
He has a lot of houses.
But he ends up living in a new house because his other house got buried.
Yes.
From other shit, which we're at right now. Fracking.
He got buried because of fracking.
Can you explain what fracking is so that way the people... Okay, so basically fracking is...
I want you to try to explain fracking.
Oh, Lord. It's basically digging where you're not supposed to. I guess is the best way to put it. Can you explain what it is? I don't want to fucking explain this shit. Can you explain it?
No.
You explain what fracking is.
Just look up what fracking is, kids.
And just so you know, it's not inappropriate. Just so you know, it's not an inappropriate...
Unless it is. In which case, we're sorry.
Fucking tell them, honey.
There could be many terms for that. But anyway, go
ask an adult what fracking is.
Yeah, go ask
Just ask an adult. Don't look it up.
Go ask somebody.
Anyway, that whole thing happened. So...
Honey.
What?
We should go fracking.
Fucking stop. Anyway. So, Diana and Mr. Peanut Butter end up getting divorced. Princess Carolyn starts a relationship with Ralph.
Yeah, talk about that.
So basically, she meets a guy. Princess Carolyn ends up meeting a guy named Ralph, who's a mouse, and they kind of hit it off. Even though she's basically busy working, trying to get movies and shit. Please stop laughing.
No, I just thinking about Ralph as like the mouse on the motorcycle. Do you remember those little movies?
Gosh, honey. Anyway, so
Ralph on the motorcycle.
Shush! Ralph is not a boy on a motorcycle. He's a man on a motorcycle.
The mouse on the motorcycle. Do you remember that? The mouse gets a motorcycle and then he rides around.
Yes.
And partnered up with the toad that almost got killed because he went into the kitchen.
Anyway, besides that, my bean is silly. That's something you're gonna hear on our podcast. We're gonna be silly. Anyway, so we'll be silly when we need to be. Anyway, so her and Ralph end up starting a relationship. They only go on a couple dates and then realize, I want to live with this person.
Yeah, I want to be in a stable relationship.
She really wants to be in a stable relationship with him.
And then Princess Carolyn wants a child.
She wants to have a kid. And Ralph isn't really ready to have a kid.
No, he is.
He is, but he's kind of nervous to have a kid.
Yeah.
So the two of them end up doing the do a bunch of times. And trying to get pregnant because she wants to have a kid with this guy and start a life with him because she really does love him. So because of that whole thing, she finds out she's infertile. And ends up getting a couple miscarriages. Mind you, this isn't like the first time she's gotten a miscarriage. She's gotten like a bunch of them in the past, and this show also does a really good job with explaining miscarriages. Oh, you're so sweet. This show does a really good job with representing like the positive light of miscarriages and like trying to say that it's not the end of the world. You can just keep trying, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Watch the show for yourself, and you'll see how good it is with that. So after that whole thing is the last part of our notes, which is the Times Arrow episode. And you get to talk about that, honey.
Oh my god.
Because I don't fucking remember.
Pretty much what the Time Arrows episode is basically...
I only know the end part. So I'll say the end part.
You only know the end part. Okay. So basically it is, again, the life of... Beatrice and like... her upbringing and how she met Bojack's father and
Butterscotch.
And how everything was
went to shit.
It
literally was fine for like the first like half of the Times Arrow episode, and the second half went to shit.
It went to
so
shit.
Basic sum of what happened. So so basically Beatrice ends up trying to get on dates because of her father, like arranged dates to get married to somebody. So because of that, she ends up meeting Butterscotch at one of these events and ends up running away with him and getting married. Mm-hmm. And because of that, even though they were happy for a little bit, they eventually have Bojack. And stuff goes to shit.
Yeah.
Because Butterscotch is trying to write a book and Beatrice is just upset that he's not helping and all this other bull crap. And it's basically showing how Bojack was raised for like the first like couple years of his life. I think it was like for the first 5 years.
Like, well, you see a lot of him as a child.
In this episode. So after that whole thing...
I think most of the flashbacks that he has with his parents are like him as a child.
Yeah, so a lot of them are child flashbacks. We're not going to go really too deep into them just because there's a lot. And it just brings up a lot of shit. So after that whole thing, we find out something very fucking crazy. And this section is going to be major spoilers, so if you don't want to hear this...
It's already major spoilers, alright. You're fine.
But this is probably the biggest spoiler of, like, Season 4.
Okay.
This is the biggest spoiler of Season 4, so be careful when you're listening to this. Anyway, so... apparently, there's a maid in Bojack's house as a kid. Mm-hmm. And... Beatrice finds out some shocking shit. She found out her husband was cheating on her with the fucking maid. And you're not gonna believe who this maid fucking is. So she's apparently trying to be a nurse, and she's pregnant with her and Butterscotch's child. So basically, after finding out about this, the mom says, either you give up the child, you either let me pay for your school, and if you don't let me pay for your school, you gave up your child for adoption. And guess who we find out the mom is? Here's the thing, we don't get to see the mom's face. Mm-hmm. It's blurred out for the entire thing.
You never get to see her mom.
You never get to see what her mom looks like, but you do get to know this is her mom. We find out that Hollyhock is Bojack's sibling. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my God, you're going to do that all the time.
Yes. Bojack's sibling is Hollyhock. Mm-hmm. They're fucking related. Mm-hmm. I don't know by how many years, but they're related. So, Hollyhock ends up getting...
pretty much Bojack was, probably in his early 30s when it happened.
Yeah, probably. So, basically after that, Bojack finds out about it from a lot of people, mm-hmm. and then he is trying to step up to be a big brother to her instead of being a father figure.
Yeah. Because Hollyhock stated that she had 8 dads.
She has 8 dads and doesn't need another dad.
Yeah. But the last conversation that they had...
was when Hollyhock ends up going home.
Well, no. She ends up trying to go... She goes home because... Oh, we didn't talk about the drug.
Okay. So, we'll talk about this and then we're basically done with the podcast for today. Mm-hmm. For this part. So, while all this is going on, finding out about this... The mom, Beatrice, ends up sneaking pills into Hollyhock's food without anyone knowing. And she ends up getting overdosed and goes into the hospital. No one knows at the time who did it. The Polly dads, try and think Bojack did it. But it ends up not being him. It ends up being the fucking mom. So when he finds out about it, he takes her to the fucking... nursing home to rot. Mm-hmm. And after that whole thing, she remembers Bojack at the very end of season 4.
Yeah.
And that's the end of season 4. We get to find out this bullshit.
And also, Hollyhock opens the door. Hollyhock opens the door to let Bojack into her life.
Yes.
Which will end up being very, very bad.
In the end.
And I warned you about that too.
Yeah, you warned me about it, and I was happy at the end of season 4. Season 4 is still my favorite season because I love Hollyhock. The end of it was good to me. Mm-hmm. But, oh boy, you guys are in for a whole lot of shit for the next, 2 seasons.
Yes.
So, and that's going to be the end of our podcast for seasons 3 and 4.
Lovely.
So... we're going to do one more episode.
Season 5.
With season 5 and 6. And then that'll be it for our Bojack talk. And then after we talk about 5 and 6, we'll give our honest review of it and we'll rate it.
Okay.
So that way, you guys can check it out if you want to. Mm-hmm. And we're going to give our honest opinions about the entire whole series. Mm-hmm. So be on the lookout for that. And I'm Mari.
I'm JC.
And we are out.